When you're in a fix, just call for the men in tights. Wear watch.
Let's face it, you gotta be a man to wear tights.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Benny here from the road, actually reporting inside of an airport right now, but it's too important. These kind of stories are too important. The cultural moments here are too important. Garth Brooks turning on the entire fan base for country music, turning on regular Americans, turning on his customers for his brand new bar in Nashville, saying, oh, you're an a-hole if you wish to boycott Bud Light. Check this out. Garth Brooks defends serving Bud Light in new bar, suggests those boycotting are a-holes. That's what he calls you and me. Garth Brooks, of course, one of the more legendary country music stars, hasn't had any good or hit records since the 1990s. Garth Brooks obviously packed on a couple LBs, maybe drinking too much Bud Light there, Garth. Let's have a look. Garth Brooks defends serving Bud Light in new bar. Those boycotting are a-holes. If you're an a-hole, there are plenty of other places on Lower Broadway, says Garth Brooks, that referring to the street in Nashville where all the bars are. Country music legend Garth Brooks has defended his decision to serve Bud Light in his new bar called Friends in Low Places, LOL. How did you get popular, by the way, for your song Friends in Low Places? Presumably you've heard of this song. This is a song that really popularized Garth Brooks. Pretty famous song. I've actually heard Garth Brooks sing this song to George H.W. Bush at his birthday party 10 years ago. I was covering it for an event. It's wild. Little did I know how low the Bush family actually was at the time. I was very naive. Now I know. Despite the outgoing controversy and boycott called for surrounding the beer brand associated with Mulvaney, Bud Light had a partnership with Mulvaney, received a personalized can. Of course, you all are aware of what the boycott is now. And yes, we're going to serve every brand of beer. We just are. It's not our decision to make. Our thing is this. If you are let into this house, love one another. If you're an a-hole, there are plenty of places on Lower Broadway, presumably pointing people in the direction of John Rich's bar, for instance, who stopped serving Bud Light, Kid Rock's bar, and so on. The reason why they can't sell Bud Light, the reason why they stopped serving Bud Light in part is because no one was buying it. Brooks said this in a conversation with Billboard, of course, a leftist magazine publisher, executive editor Melinda Newman at the Billboard Live in Nashville. I know that sounds corny. I want it to be like the Chick-fil-A of honky tonks, he said. Oh my God. And by the way, Chick-fil-A getting canceled recently for having a DEI executive director. I want it to be a place where you feel safe in. I want it to be a place where you feel like there are manners and people like one another. Oh, got it. Okay. Got it. All right. There's manners. Manners. That's what these people say. That's what they're going to say. That's what these people are going to say as they rip apart your society. And that is what Garth Brooks is doing right now. And that is what this agenda is all about. What I find particularly interesting about these comments, and particularly interesting about a guy like Garth Brooks, is that Garth Brooks himself is somebody who's made his fortune. Presumably Garth Brooks has hundreds of millions of dollars in the bank. He's made his fortune off of you, off of conservatives, off of people who believe in this nation, people who believe in genetic biology, people who are Christians, people who believe in traditional moral values. He is one of the biggest country music stars. He has robbed you. This is precisely the issue with places like Target, brands like Bud Light. They are taking your dollars and they are manufacturing them. They are laundering them into leftism. And it's really easy to be a leftist because the entire culture is just set up on your side. Every corporation, every big bank, you are a cog inside of the blorb. You are part of the blob. You are part of every major publishing house, every single major music industry executive. All of these people are on the same team. You are not punk rock. You are not Kid Rock if you are part of the same team as Raytheon and Bank of America. So Garth Brooks here, part of the Borg, and is effectively just saying hey, screw, to all my fans, to all of the people who have come to my shows and who have given me all of the money, screw you. And I guess maybe he's had enough money poured into his bank account from regular Americans to be able to say that. Maybe there are companies like Cracker Barrel who have essentially made rainbow rockers now, and from the Cracker Barrel's most like right, like here's their post here on Facebook. Cracker Barrel having their rainbow rockers out on Facebook saying we're excited to celebrate. Dude, you just like don't understand your customer base, but they don't care. That's the point. This is a driven agenda that is centralized, that is actually designed in order to go after the country music, to piss off the country music people, to piss off the NASCAR fans, to piss off the Cracker Barrel fans. First Chick-fil-A, now Cracker Barrel, country music store and restaurant chain has apparently learned nothing about knowing your customer base after the Bud Light fiasco. Cracker Barrel on Facebook shared rainbow rockers. Now, I mean, what ultimately is the point here? You do have to draw a line. And we've effectively drawn a line, right? The line for me is not the rainbow rockers. The line for me is predatory behavior towards children. Okay, that's the most politically correct way to say it. Predatory behavior towards children, ladies and gentlemen. That's our issue. Okay, that's our issue. Ted Cruz says that he's going to be looking into Bud Light hiring him Dylan Mulvaney, because Dylan Mulvaney's entire audience is under the age of 18 effectively. All the young people, all the youths are on TikTok. And that's an alcohol brand trying to advertise to young people. That's our issue. This radicalized leftist agenda is something that Garth Brooks has supported his entire time. He's a Democrat. He's a Democrat donor. He's somebody who loves to suckle up to power and to the establishment. He is establishment. There's nothing cool about Garth Brooks. If you are a fan of his, you should burn his records. You should not go to his concerts anymore, if he even plays them, which I'm not sure he would actually be capable. Based on this photo, I'm not sure he'd actually physically be able to play a concert at this point. But nonetheless, a little too much Bud Light. So him saying that I want this to be a place where you feel safe in, I want this to be a place where you feel like manners and people like one another, that's actually the point. The point for us is to say, yeah, we're for a set of we're for like a basic set of standards and a basic set of biological and human realities. And that's actually a good thing to build your society around. There is an entirely different type of Marxist at the gate that is looking to completely destroy our societal norms right now and replace them with a brand new norm, replace them with a new religion. That's the goal. And we mustn't let them win. Ladies and gentlemen, don't ever go to Garth Brooks shows again, and don't ever listen to his music. It won't be hard. He hasn't had any successful albums since like 1991. So easy peasy. Also, do not go to his bar if you're ever in Nashville. It's your boy Benny from the airport. Like, share, and subscribe. See ya.